A name that's under significant amount of pressure here today, and that is Helen of Troy. Shares are falling this morning after a big earnings miss, sinking just over 30%. Now it's marking the biggest drop so far that we have seen on record. Now the company behind the likes of Hydro Flask, Revlon, Drybar, missing analyst expectations on both the top and bottom line, also saying that it expects the problems that it faced in fiscal first quarter to continue. That sales decline led the firm to lower its annual outlook, and that's sending shares falling here today. When you take a look at what they are expecting now, this consumer products company cut its adjusted EPS guidance for the full year. It also missed what the street had been looking for here. When you take a look at some of the weakness within this report, they also pointed to the hair care weakness, that really led some of the drop that we did see this past earnings.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Report.
I'm sorry, Sarana, to cut you off. I was just taking a look to see, as you were talking, what the kind of sympathy names might look like in comparison here. I'm not actually seeing a lot. If I took a look at Procter & Gamble, Walmart, and Target, actually Procter & Gamble is the only one down today. Not necessarily in sympathy, but it is interesting given that this is the name that's going to be backing, your dry bars, as you mentioned, your Revlon, for example, a lot of those consumer-facing names. Ulta Beauty is down today. That could be a potential move in sympathy with this name because they do cite consumer weakness in particular, and that is just the latest, as we were just talking about with Chewy, right? This is another company citing that consumer weakness. Executives on the call saying as a result, they are lowering, or on the earnings print rather, they're lowering their annual outlook, delaying the delivery of long-term finances in terms of their strategic plan here, citing that consumer weakness, really indicative to me of consumers starting to buckle again under the weight of inflation for some of those discretionary purchases. If you're thinking about a dry bar, for example, that's actually a really expensive product. When I think about their dry shampoo, I'm getting that at TJ Maxx and Nordstrom Rack, so I can get a little bit of a discount because it's expensive, but it's a good product. And perhaps other consumers are doing the same.
Yeah, they are, because beauty and wellness sales, they were off just over 15%. Home and outdoor sales decreasing 8.6%. We do want to bring up maybe the silver lining, a bright spot within this report. The company did say that cost of goods sold actually fell more than revenue, down 17.5% there. But again, some pressure across the board, that weakness of the consumer that you were citing, clearly weighing on this name and expected to weigh now for the current quarter as well.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out with consumer names this earnings cycle.